Assalamu alaikum, good evening to all Pakistanis and everyone in the world, not only Pakistanis, every human being in the world. Salam to everyone and peace to everyone. My name is Amir Dar and I am the Vice President of PTI Atlanta Chapter. Here is the initiative the only two people to make their money because they actually help Pakistan to stand and is and group feel like we need to reach out a little more. We have meetings it is at my place or at friends' places to talk to people and to reach out to them and give them the message of PTI. Normally when we have a meeting, the first question we ask people that what do they think, what is the basic human necessity of life? What are the basic human needs of life? Their answer very frequently is food, water, and shelter. But the way we respond to them is the basic human necessity is justice. In Urdu we'll call it insaf. Why justice? Justice does not have any tangibility. It's not tangible. It is an intangible thing. But the effects that justice has on a society or any social structure are humongous, are very huge. The reason we say that justice is very important for people to have is once we give justice to a environment, we can create opportunities for us to create food, water, and shelter. But if there is no justice, there is no equality in the society or in a nation, that then people are not able to do that. And to fulfill these basic necessities, there has to be a justice. So Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf actually stands on justice, stands on equality, regardless of the race, color, ethnicity, or religious background. So we initiated this chapter. We start talking to people, and we start making them aware that why PTI is the only viable source for Pakistan to stand on its feet. And the reason for that is because the leader, PTI's leader, Imran Khan, is the visionary who has a vested interest in our people, who has a vested interest in Pakistan, who lives among Pakistanis, who eats what they eat, who drinks what they drink, and who breathes the air what everybody else breathes in the entire country. And he's the only person in Pakistan of political stature who has invested in people socially. He created Shaukat Khanum Hospital. He's created now a Nimble School where he's educating poor people at a very minimal cost, and 90% of the people are actually educated there free of cost. So all these things, when we look put together and we see that who is the viable leader, who is the person who is actually sincerely willing to create an economic development in the country and work for the economic welfare of the people. So the answer, all roads lead to Imran Khan. Everything leads to Imran Khan. And this is why it's important for us as overseas Pakistanis to support Imran Khan. Now the second question is why it is important for overseas Pakistanis to work toward the welfare of Pakistan, or even think about Pakistan. We are all living over here. We have food, water, shelter, we have security, we have good earnings, we make good money, we are educated. So why it's important for us to think about even Pakistan? The answer to that question is that regardless of which part of the world we go to, regardless of which corner of the world we go to, we'll always be Pakistani, because our features, Our culture, our mentality reflects that. And people who abandon their country, people who, or nations who abandon their motherland, um, will never have any other land in any other part of the world. Because if you cannot feel the importance, or if you don't have love for your own family or your own country, then nobody loves you. That is simple. And whatever, if you see the current situation is going on in the world, we're having all these problems for Muslims, people in France or the Western society especially. Nothing against them. They are good societies in their own homeland, and they are good societies for their own people. But for us to live the way we want to live based on our culture and our religion, we have to have our own country. This is why Pakistan was created in 1947, because our founding father felt a need for Muslims to have their own homeland, so that Muslims can live based on their religious needs and whatever their religious obligations are. So this is why it's important for overseas Pakistanis to help Pakistan stand on its feet. And the way situations are going on all over the world, in Europe and France now, Muslim women cannot do hijab in public places, and even in the U.S. The way the sentiment against Muslims in Pakistani is, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time where people will single out you, regardless of how long you've lived over here, how wealthy you are, how educated you are. They will come after you. So let's be proactive. Let's try to create our own homeland, a better homeland, and let's be peaceful. Let's create a country where we can live as first-class citizens, not as third-class or fourth-class. We don't even have a second-class, third-class or fourth-class people. Let's live in our country as first-class people. Let's create our country full of beauty. Let's create our country with everything that any human desires, and live there. I'll give you a very good example. If you have a house, you clean your house. You have a car, you clean your car. You make sure your house looks pretty. Make sure you have expensive things in your house. Make sure you have comfortable things in your house. The same thing on a macro level, if you look at it, it goes to Pakistan. Let's create Pakistan with beautiful things, with comfortable things, and let's create an environment there where our future generation can live with respect. And one thing I would like to also stress is, whatever the situation is going on in Pakistan, it is our failure as a nation. We should not blame anyone else. There is no one else to blame to. We fail to recognize the fact. We fail to do anything for our country. So that's why we have a situation like this. Plato's famous quote is that one of the penalties for not politicizing yourself is that you get ruled by your inferiors. Now, inferior, the term inferior here means people who are immoral. So this is the same situation is going on. We as overseas Pakistanis fail to politicize, fail to fight for our rights, and that's why we are currently ruled by immoral people who are giving our religion a bad name, who are giving our country and our nation a bad name. And let me tell you, it's very much possible. It's not a difficult task. I was talking to a friend of mine a few minutes ago, Munzir Naqvi. We were both talking about it, brainstorming about ideas. That let's assume that we have Pakistan. Let's assume that you become the Prime Minister of Pakistan or the leader of Pakistan. What are the things you would do to create better Pakistan? Let's think about it. Let's be proactive. He had some wonderful ideas. Wonderful ideas. If those ideas are implemented, if those ideas are actually given a life, or if we give life to these ideas, we can definitely have a Pakistan that can lead the entire Islamic world as well, and become a better example for the Western societies and countries as well. So it is very important for us. The burden falls on us. It is the burden is on us as overseas Pakistanis to help Pakistan to stand on our feet. And the only way we can do it if we become paying members for PTI. And again, why PTI? PTI is the only political party which does not belong to any religious group, which does not belong to any ethnicity, which does not represent any one particular group of people. PTI is for all the Pakistanis, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Christian, whether you are any other Islamic, belong to any other Islamic sect. So PTI is for everyone. So everyone's effort is needed here. We need everyone to participate in this effort. And we talk to people, and sometimes people procrastinate. They don't think about it. But from what I can tell you to those people is that when you procrastinate, you fail to do something. You fail to take an action to participate in an effort to create a better Pakistan, then it becomes a failure for us. Failure for us as an entire nation. We're going to need every Pakistani in the world to wake up. Every Pakistani in the world to think about this. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to broadcast every day. We're going to be trying to reach out to you every day, and we're going to be discussing some political things to do in Pakistan for the betterment. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast for you. And this is my first time for that I'm doing. Become a PTN. And that is where we will be unable. So please become a PTN. Thank you very much, everyone. We post more videos to reach out and more this platform. Thank you very much.